Part 2 to the arrangement of our 8-part track from scratch series, and we're developing what we did last week. So if you're a producer who wants to learn more about arrangement, I would highly check out this video, and I would make sure to check out the other parts to this series, because we talk about how to start a loop, the bits in between arrangement, and covering arrangement. But yeah, today we're going to finish off that arrangement. So hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe, comment down below if this has helped you out, and yeah, thank you. Boom, we are back. Gonna crack on with this tune. So, hold on. So, when I was having a look at it before I jumped on properly, one thing that I did notice was, I don't even know what to call this. I would say like the bass layer, if you will. One of the notes wasn't in key, so I just made it all the same note really, because the bass itself is quite interesting, like even in this bit here. Like it's clearly a loop that's got quite a few bass sounds, so I'm not too bothered about the lack of variation in that layer now, purely because I just know that it's not going to get stale, and if it does get stale, we can take things in and out, we can make variations and so on and so forth. But after having a listen through, I was quite happy with it. I did add this back in. I had to play around with the vocal here, but I didn't really like it. I think I'm quite happy with it so far. So let's move on to this bit here. Oh yeah, I did add this bit. Let me just play it for you. I'll play a bit further back. I guess you can say I had a high source. I guess you can say I had a high source. Kind of like the way that we're sort of keeping it a bit empty there. Needs a bit of emptiness in the track. So I'm thinking now we do need something here to sort of fill out the track a little bit. So we're going to use the same chords that we used in the pad. Let's just do that now. Breakdown pad. Fuck it if we spell it wrong. Fuck it. We've got a breakdown pad. Let's find a good sound. And basically what we want out of the pad is like a bit more in the low mids, as opposed to, you see this pad, it's like quite high up. I reckon it's in the 5th octave, yeah, 5th and 6th octave. So we want this to be more in the 4th octave, maybe even the 3rd, depending on the sound. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's do it. Where are we going to go for it, though? That's a real question. I think try DX7. I don't use this plugin enough. I think it's in Analog Lab, all the Arturia stuff. Yeah, it's an Arturia plugin. So if it fucking loads, yep, there we go. I do recall there being some good pads. Obviously, I like to use the UHE plugins quite a lot because you just get a very good sound out of them. They're all really good analog. I wouldn't say analog. Some of them are analog. A lot of them are quite modern. But this plugin, I think you get better, softer sounds. So let's try that. Let's try some keys. Actually, no. We'll try a pad first. Get a good sound, and then we'll flick through. Not that fucking graveyard sound. Fucking. I do like that. I'm going to favourite it, but let's try it. I'm not too sure how this will be. But yeah, let's give it a good go. Oh, we're not even on. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Shit. Why is it not copied and pasted? Oh, because I pressed Control B. Yeah, make sure you don't do that, because then it just kind of resets the clipboard. Yeah, so Control C. Go into breakdown pad. Control V. And we're just going to move that along. going to see if we can make a bit of a chord progression out of this. I'm not too clued up on music theory, but I'm starting to learn it a bit more, and when I get a very good understanding, I will teach you guys, but for now. Are we able to move these all up by 2? Yeah, we can do. So if you hit not Alt R, sorry, is it Alt S? Yeah, if you hit Alt S, you can actually make the MIDI feel like it's being strummed, as if it was a guitar. So if I was to really exaggerate it. That's cool. Oh, did it not do it? Oh. You have to hit accept. Yeah, cool. So we just get rid of the tails at the end of there. Do that, click delete. Let's see how that sounds, because I'm quite happy with that as just a general sound. Yeah, as chords, I like them, but I think the sound's a little bit too plucky. I want it to be soft. That's fucking crazy. Just hit save, because I get a feeling that my laptop might fucking... You know, when you get that feeling when your laptop might just go at any second. I'm getting that feeling right now. There's some like detuning going on here. Nah, fuck it. See what I mean? When you get that feeling, sometimes it's gonna happen. Let's listen to this. I like that. I think that's cool. Immediately, I'm just like, yeah, let's make that work. Right. In this situation, I would probably just record this in as MIDI and just kind of accept that, you know, this is the best we're going to get. I might get, you know, the filter, just so that we've got the option of, like, sweeping down with a filter if possible. Yeah. All right. If you want to do that, what I just described, I would put it into pattern mode at the top there. Make sure you selected that. Get up an Edison. On play. Click that, and as soon as you hit that, that's when it will start recording. Because sometimes if you have it on now or on input, it will just record as soon as you click it. So... I like to record it twice over, though. Just so then you've kind of got a bit more to work with. Because as you can see, the start bit, it's like smaller there. But then the second bit, it carries over. So it's important to sort of have that carryover. Just in case it sounds better with or without. You've got the option there before you get rid of it. So yeah, rename that. I'm going to normalize it just so that it's a bit nicer to look at. It doesn't just look like a flat line. And then breakdown, pad. Get rid of that. We know what the chords are. Actually, no. Tell you what. We'll turn it off because we do want to keep the chords. Or can we? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can just... put one of those on there, turn the volume down, but it sort of lets us know what MIDI we've used. Cool, so now that we've got it, I'm going to put it on there. It's quite loud and it's quite in your face though, so... oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. So, the first thing I would do is get rid of some of these low frequencies. I kind of want the pad to be chilling around here, so I'm going to get up... do you know what? I'm just going to put a dip there just to make a bit of room for things, and then I'm going to add a chorus to give it a bit of thickness and just kind of push it a little bit further back in the mix. Cool, and then once I've added a chorus, I will then go and add shaper box. And I'll do a couple things. I'll have the filter, and I'll have the filter going over about 4 bars, let's just say. Let's try 4 bars for now. Keep the resonance about anywhere between 10 and 20. And see, like there, it's like really hiding away. We don't really want that. We want it chilling around, as we were saying before, 200. Yeah. Cool, cool. And then the final thing that I would do, put a mid-side EQ on and just really get rid of all the the lows, because we don't particularly need some of these frequencies in the sides, and they're just going to clog up room. Shit. Yeah, so you see, you can't even really hear it, so it's just not needed. That being said, I probably will boost around here. And the final thing I will do when the... actually, you know what? We'll leave it for now because I do want to move on. I don't want to spend too long on it, but yeah. Let's listen to things in context, actually, so we can get some ideas of what to do next. Yeah, so in this bit here, it kind of needs to pick up in energy a bit. So we could maybe do this. Nah, that's a little bit too much. Let's try this one. Maybe even the medium energy snares. No, right, okay. I think in this bit here, we'll do something different with the vocal. Let's see if there's anything else we can really get out of it. So, I didn't do a lot of talking then, but I'm just trying to think what is the best move next. So now, maybe if we just reintroduce a lot of these. And then just cut there. But then if we cut there, cut all the green. Sorry if you can hear the fucking racket out there as well. Hopefully you can't. if we can just repeat this. And then we go back into like. Go into this one. Because sometimes it's easy to overcomplicate these breakdowns, and sometimes I do, but it's important to remember that a lot of the tension and release is going to come from the synth, not the synths, the automation of the synths, the automation of the drums, the automation of the vocals. So in this stage, it's good to just get the bare bones, the basis of it. How is the energy going to transfer? So we've dropped off on the energy, we've slowly built it back up with the drums, the pads trying to create this feeling of emotion, and then drop the emotion, pick up the energy of the drums, and then back in. See, right now that does sound quite like out of nowhere and abrupt, and we will solve that, but in a later phase where it makes more sense to do that. Because like we could very simply just do this right now. I've got this one specific one I always use, this one. And then do the same with one going up. But at this stage we're at now, I feel like we would rely too much on that to create that feeling, and I don't want to do that. I want to see what we can do by ourselves first before we rely on stuff like that. So if we move on from that. So let's look at the other drop and see what happened at the other one. And then, you know what? Maybe we'll go into the medium energy bit. But rather than do that, I kind of do want this, the big one. The one that we had in the high energy section. Sorry, that's what I was looking for. And then just kind of let it do its thing now. Just let the track fade out as it needs to. Because by this stage, you know, we've had 2 breakdowns. We're going to get to a stage eventually where the energy will fluctuate quite a lot. Mini breaks and stuff. And that'll sort of be our last 10%, you know, finding areas where we can have micro variations. But for now, it's more about the bigger picture, I would say. Holy shit, the whole time I've not even included the drone. That's probably why the track feels a bit empty. It's quite useful, the drone, in terms of just filling out space. As I say, I've only just started using them. Probably have a nice long outro here. We might fill it out a little bit more, but this is kind of just to get a rough idea. But yeah, cool. I will just do this for making it look a bit neater. But yeah, cool. So this is our full sketch. We're looking at about 6-7 minute track. It might not need to be 7 minutes. It is important when you're making music to sort of cut down the faff and the fluff when needed. And there might be some fluff in here, but if your track's constantly moving and there's constantly stuff going on, stuff coming in and out, you might not need to, but sometimes you will do. It's a good skill to develop, to be able to know when to take things out because they're not needed, and kind of let go of that, oh, but I spent ages doing it. Like, less is more. People always say that, and I know it's quite cliche, but the fact is that when you've got less to worry about, less to deal with, it means other elements can shine through. You can focus on them better, and you can just make those elements take more focus of the listener. When you've got a bunch of elements going on, or, you know, you've got, as I call them, well, no, Bernsky, Instinct Bernsky refers to these as dead bars. When you've got too many dead bars in the track, it feels like the listener is sort of getting a bit lost in the track and kind of waiting for the next thing to happen. But in the dead bars, it's not like you're building up tension. It's more just like the track's dragging out. So, yeah. Next time, we will look at how to actually turn this into a real coherent piece of arrangement now, and not just feel block, 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 block. Especially, you know, this bit here, it's quite sparse and empty and doesn't really make much sense right now. But as soon as we get some automation going in there, it'll sound way better. So yeah, till next time.